The Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team holds a storied place in the history of college football. With a legacy that stretches back over a century, the program has produced some of the most memorable moments and celebrated players in the sport. Known for its distinctive golden helmets, iconic fight song, and passionate fan base, Notre Dame football is synonymous with tradition and excellence. Each season, the release of the Fighting Irish's football schedule is eagerly anticipated by fans, alumni, and the broader college football community. The 2024 season promises to be another exciting chapter in the team's history, with a schedule filled with challenging matchups, historic rivalries, and opportunities for the team to prove its mettle on the national stage. Overview of the 2024 season. The 2024 Notre Dame Fighting Irish football schedule is a balanced mix of home and away games, featuring some of the most prestigious programs in college football. The team will face a combination of familiar foes and new challenges, with a lineup that includes conference rivals, non-conference powerhouses, and traditional rivalry games. The season will test the Fighting Irish's resolve and skill, as they aim to make a run for the college football playoff and potentially add another national championship to their illustrious history. The schedule is also a reflection of Notre Dame's independent status in college football. Unlike most other major programs that belong to a conference, Notre Dame remains an independent team, allowing them to craft a unique schedule each year. This independence gives the Fighting Irish the flexibility to schedule games against a wide variety of opponents, but it also presents its own set of challenges. Without the benefit of a conference championship game, Notre Dame must consistently perform at a high level throughout the regular season to secure a spot in the college football playoff. Key matchups. One of the highlights of the 2024 Notre Dame football schedule is the annual showdown with the University of Southern California, USC. The Notre Dame-USC rivalry is one of the most famous and intense in all of college football, dating back to 1926. The two teams have faced each other nearly every year since, with the winner often having a significant impact on the national championship race. This year's game will be held at Notre Dame Stadium, where the Fighting Irish will look to defend their home turf against the Trojans. The matchup promises to be a classic battle between two of the sport's most storied programs, with both teams boasting talented rosters and high expectations for the season. Another marquee game on the schedule is Notre Dame's matchup against the Ohio State Buckeyes. This game is part of a home-and-home series that began in 2022 and has quickly become one of the most anticipated games on the college football calendar. Ohio State is consistently one of the top teams in the country, and their clash with Notre Dame is sure to have major implications for the playoff picture. The Buckeyes will visit Notre Dame Stadium in what is expected to be a sold-out crowd, creating a raucous atmosphere that will test the composure of both teams. In addition to these high-profile games, Notre Dame will also face several other tough opponents throughout the season. The Fighting Irish will travel to Clemson to take on the Tigers in another non-conference showdown that could have playoff implications. Clemson has been one of the dominant programs in college football over the past decade, and a win over the Tigers would be a major statement for Notre Dame. The team will also host the University of Michigan, renewing one of the oldest rivalries in college football. The Notre Dame-Michigan game is always a must-watch event, as the two teams have a long history of close, hard-fought contests. The importance of home games. Home games at Notre Dame Stadium are always a special occasion, and the 2024 season will be no different. The stadium, often referred to as the house that Rockne built in honor of legendary coach Knute Rockne, is one of the most iconic venues in all of sports. The atmosphere on game days is electric, with thousands of fans filling the stands to cheer on the Fighting Irish. The team will play several key games at home this season, including the aforementioned matchups against USC, Ohio State, and Michigan. Playing at home gives Notre Dame a significant advantage, as the team can feed off the energy of the crowd and the familiarity of their surroundings. The stadium's rich history and tradition also serve as a source of inspiration for the players, who are keenly aware of the legacy they are carrying forward. The home games are also an opportunity for the team to showcase their skills in front of their loyal fan base, who travel from all over the country to support the Fighting Irish. Road challenges. While home games provide a boost for the team, the Fighting Irish will also face several tough road tests during the 2024 season. Traveling to hostile environments is always a challenge, and Notre Dame will need to be at their best to come away with victories. One of the most difficult road games on the schedule is the trip to Clemson. Memorial Stadium, known as Death Valley, is one of the most intimidating venues in college football. The Tigers have a passionate fan base, and the noise level in the stadium can make communication difficult for opposing teams. Notre Dame will need to prepare thoroughly for this game, as a win on the road at Clemson would be a major achievement. Another challenging road game on the schedule is the trip to Stanford. The Notre Dame-Stanford rivalry, known as the Legends Trophy game, has been a competitive series in recent years, with both teams trading victories. Stanford Stadium is a difficult place to play, and the Fighting Irish will need to be focused and disciplined to secure a win. The game against Stanford is also important because it comes at the end of the regular season, meaning it could have significant implications for Notre Dame's playoff hopes. In addition to these games, Notre Dame will also travel to play teams like Louisville and North Carolina State, both of which are capable of pulling off an upset. The Fighting Irish cannot afford to overlook any opponent, as a single loss could derail their playoff aspirations. Impact of the schedule on playoff hopes. The 2024 Notre Dame football schedule is designed to test the team's abilities and prepare them for a potential run at the college football playoff. Each game on the schedule presents its own unique challenges, and the team will need to navigate the season with a high level of consistency and focus. Given Notre Dame's independent status, the team does not have the opportunity to play in a conference championship game, which means they must make the most of every game on their schedule. To secure a spot in the college football playoff, Notre Dame will likely need to go undefeated or have a very strong record against a tough schedule. The team will need to win their high-profile games against teams like USC, Ohio State, and Clemson, while also avoiding any slip-ups against lesser opponents. The strength of the schedule should work in Notre Dame's favor, as victories against top teams will bolster their resume in the eyes of the playoff selection committee. However, the margin for error is slim. A loss in one of their key games could put Notre Dame's playoff hopes in jeopardy, especially if other teams around the country are also vying for a spot. The team will need to stay healthy, avoid distractions, and maintain their focus throughout the season to achieve their goals. Player performances and key players to watch. The success of Notre Dame's 2024 season will largely depend on the performances of their key players. The team boasts a talented roster, with several players who are expected to play pivotal roles in the team's pursuit of a national championship. On offense, the quarterback position will be crucial, as the Fighting Irish will need strong leadership and consistent play from their signal caller. The team's running game will also be a focal point, with a deep stable of running backs capable of making big plays. The offensive line, traditionally a strength for Notre Dame, will be tasked with protecting the quarterback and opening up lanes for the running game. The line's ability to dominate the line of scrimmage will be key to the team's success, particularly in tough matchups against strong defensive fronts like those of Ohio State and Clemson. On defense, Notre Dame will rely on a mix of experienced veterans and talented newcomers to stop opposing offenses. The defensive line will be anchored by a group of physical, disruptive players who can generate pressure on the quarterback and stuff the run. The secondary will need to be sharp, especially against teams with potent passing attacks. The defensive unit as a whole will need to play with discipline and intensity, as they will face several high-powered offenses throughout the season. Special teams will also play a critical role in Notre Dame's success. The team's kickers, punters, and return specialists will need to be consistent and make the most of their opportunities. Special teams can often be the difference in close games, and Notre Dame will need to excel in this area to achieve their goals. Conclusion. The 2024 Notre Dame Fighting Irish football schedule is a challenging and exciting slate of games that will test the team's abilities and determine their place in the national championship conversation. With a mix of historic rivalries, high-profile non-conference matchups, and tough road tests, the Fighting Irish will need to be at their best to navigate the season successfully. The team's performance in these games will be closely watched by fans, analysts, and the playoff selection committee, as Notre Dame aims to add another chapter to its storied legacy. As the season unfolds, the Fighting Irish will have the opportunity to prove themselves on the biggest stages in college football. Each game will be a chance to showcase their talent, determination, and resilience. Whether at home in the iconic Notre Dame Stadium or on the road in hostile environments, the Fighting Irish will look to make their mark and continue their pursuit of excellence. The 2024 season promises to be a memorable journey for Notre Dame football, and the team's success will be determined by their ability to rise to the occasion and meet the challenges that lie ahead.